Dan Musser, undefeated this weekend as the Ohio native. He's got a Naya deck here.
And looks to be an even 3 colors. A lot of landfall stuff going on here with 2 copies of Evolving Wilds and some other stuff. To synergize with that, a Grove Rumbler, 2 Valakut Invokers, but basically a flat 3 colors. This is not a splash.
And for what it's worth, for Dan Musser, he gets a win here. That's probably a lockup for top 8.
Yeah, he can start drawing, even conceding to people.
Yeah.
He's good to go.
And an invite to the Pro Tour. So big match here for Dan. And there's a mountain. Courier Griffin. Trigger, gain some life. Now we head back Finkel's way. Finkel's play last turn. That was a Malachor familiar.
Very solid early pick. If you're trying to do some life game matter stuff, could be one of the better cards for your deck. And if you're just playing it to play it as a good normal black creature, it fills that role too.
John does have a copy of Complete Disregard in hand right now. Musser with 5 mana. You said pretty heavy in all the colors for his Naya deck. Fortunately for him, he's got that Canopy Vista out there helping out.
Oh, yeah.
A little mana fixin'. Courier Griffin going to come in. Looks like it'll get its damage through.
It's called the Scions.
Yep. Got to make a few Eldrazi spawn here, Will Musser. It's also going to make that Vile Aggregate a little bit larger. Perhaps a Complete Disregard in response to the Call of the Scions is on the way. Might be afterward. Looks like it's going to be a grave birthing here for Finkel. He'll remove the Evolving Wilds from the graveyard. It's exiled now, which is where blue-black really likes things to be. Gets to make an Eldrazi spawn and draw a card. Silent Skimmer the draw.
A star for Finkel in the last draft.
Yeah. There's Wasteland Strangler. Wasteland Strangler is going to process away that Evolving Wilds. We might see a spell here from Musser. We do. I believe Spell of Growth.
Yeah.
So that's going to save his creature.
Still a good exchange here for Finkel.
Yep.
It's 2 cards for 1.
See Musser really valuing that flyer highly. Wants to keep that on the battlefield. Finkel going to tap some more mana. Complete Disregard is going to take care of Vile Aggregate. And now we're going to go back over Musser's way. Dan Musser with a lot on the line right now. He's made deep runs in Grand Prix and Pro Tours. We've seen him win Open Series events on the Star City Games Open Series circuit. And he is 12-0 here this weekend in Grand Prix Atlanta. Coming in here for 2 with the Courier Griffin. There will be a trade.
The Brood Monitor.
Yes, sir. That's bringing 3 Eldrazi with it. And that's a 3/3 on its own as well. Now Musser's starting to take care of the board a little bit, and Finkel's got to play catch-up.
If Finkel adds nothing to the board, even at 18, I think Musser could probably Alpha Strike next turn.
I think so. Now there's Myers Malice. It's been awoken. Scour from Existence was the last card in Dan's hand. So he'll untap. Big draw step here for Musser.
I think if he draws a threat or a removal spell, he can consider attacking with everything.
Well, he's considered things, and he is attacking with everything. Wasteland Strangler is going to block an Eldrazi Scion. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage going to come across. Finkel's going to fall down to 11. Does Musser have a follow-up? He's reaching for mana, so it leads me to believe that he does. Tapping all 6.
Whoa.
Okay. What is this? That Rolling Thunder? A Boiling Earth. Okay.
Oh, that's a great draw
nice.
here.
That's nice. That'll take care of the Wasteland Strangler, and he's got a 4/4 to boot, so that's actually a pretty good draw.
Because next turn, it wasn't like he was going to be in a great position to attack again.
Yep.
Because Finkel was going to have 2 blockers back on defense, could really start swallowing things up. But getting a 4/4 threat, now the largest thing in play, and also taking care of one of Finkel's precious blockers, that was a huge draw for Musser.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he would have liked to kill more with that, but he killed enough. And now we can keep the pressure on, because Finkel's the one that's trying to play catch-up, and Musser's trying to cross the finish line right now.
And Finkel did a very good job of setting up this game. He knew he was going to take a shot this turn. As long as he faded a big draw step from Musser, probably in okay shape, but Boiling Earth, just about perfect.
Now you got to be a little bit wary if you're Musser, as Finkel has passed the turn back with all of his mana available and that 3/3 swamp on defense. The big creatures look to be coming into the red zone. The small ones hanging on back. Finkel gonna play Ulamog's Nullifier. And now we're gonna get a trade there, as a double block does take place. No spell to counter.
But Brood Monitor still eligible to attack on the board here.
Well, Brood Monitor's got a little bit worse as an attacker with the 0/4 Silent Skimmer out there.
And now, without help, Musser cannot attack.
Yep.
As Finkel can put the Defiler in front of a Scion, the Skimmer in front of the 3/3, and that's only 2 points of damage.
Musser with a Grove Rumbler.
That's a big draw here.
Yep.
That's just big, not something Finkel can block easily if Musser can just follow up with lands.
3/3 to start with Trample. And land will make it into a 5/5.
And this card is dangerous for Finkel, also in part because it now means that every draw step for Musser is productive.
Yep. Lands are good, spells are good. And to imagine any spell that Musser does draw, he'll be able to cast. Smothering Abomination there from Finkel. So now things are getting even more interesting in this game. 4/3 flyer, but some relevant text, but Finkel doesn't have a lot of things to sacrifice.
You're hoping that you can just draw creatures and keep it going, but Finkel's spot here might be tenuous enough where if Musser offers up a good trade for the Smothering Abomination straight up, might just take it.
8 and a... That's a quarantine field there
wow.
from Dan Musser to clean everything up and to be able to attack for lethal. You saw him tapping all that mana, and he is pretty thrilled about what happened here. Dan Musser is going to win this match here over John Finkel, 2-1 with a top deck quarantine field where things were getting a little ugly. A little pan to the camera there for Dan, as he is now 13-0, and he will be our first player that's locked up a top 8 berth here in Atlanta. That means he'll be in the elimination rounds. We'll see him in the booster draft later today, and he's qualified for the Pro Tour. Congratulations to him.